Hey there, fashion friends! Today, we are talking about myths on minimalist wardrobes.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I am excited to have you here. If you are new here on this channel, I talk about how to curate a wardrobe that you absolutely love, as well as that helping you find the most quality pieces for the sustainability of your wardrobe. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, definitely click that subscribe button and the thumbs up. Yeah. So we are talking about 6 myths that I think there are for minimalist wardrobes that I kind of hear the most in questions and conversations, and people's assumptions. And yeah, I just want to kind of, address it from my perspective, from my opinion. Again, this video is based on my opinion. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I do think there are a lot of assumptions that go with the minimalist category. I've mentioned here before that sometimes I don't really like to refer to myself as minimalist. I don't like to label myself a minimalist here on YouTube because I feel like it automatically makes people put me into a little box, makes people have assumptions about me and how I should be approaching fashion, style, my wardrobe. So for me, because I take, oh God, that scared the crap out of me. Also, I want to address these myths because I think a lot of these assumptions can scare people away from having a minimalist wardrobe. I also don't necessarily think that you have to be a minimalist to have a minimalist wardrobe either. I think if I don't just get started here, I'm just going to keep rambling because that's what I do. Okay, guys, so let's get started. Okay, so the first myth is that you can only have 33 pieces in your wardrobe. So you may have heard of Courtney Carver, who is a top minimalist blogger, and she's also the creator of Project 333. Now, if you're not familiar with Project 333, this is a sort of capsule wardrobe concept created by Courtney Carver, where she states that you can get by with 33 pieces per season, 33 pieces for 3 months. Because she was kind of at that forefront of this sort of minimalist boom, I think what goes with the whole minimalist wardrobe concept or the capsule wardrobe concept is that 33 pieces. So it's like automatically people a lot of times, which is very complimentary towards Courtney, at the fact that so many people make that assumption that a minimalist wardrobe is or means 33 pieces, which I absolutely love this concept and I definitely think it's a great challenge, but it's definitely not the only approach out there. Now there's many people doing it and there's many people pulling it off, and it is super great way to make a super functional capsule wardrobe for a season. But yes, this is not the only way of having a capsule wardrobe or having a minimalist wardrobe. Realistically, for me, there isn't really any set number to having a minimalist wardrobe or even to a capsule wardrobe. For myself, I like to do module capsule wardrobes within my wardrobe. So like a capsule wardrobe to me is 10 pieces sometimes. For me, it's an ongoing journey. So it's not necessarily about the number of pieces that you have that make a minimalist wardrobe. It's more about the mindset towards your wardrobe. It's the mindset that you take when you eliminate things out of your wardrobe and the mindset that you take when you bring new things into a wardrobe. It's more about that, just being intentional with the pieces that are in your wardrobe, knowing every single item that's in your wardrobe and how it's a functional piece. Now, if that's 33 pieces, great. Maybe it's 50 pieces, maybe it's 80 pieces, maybe it's 130 pieces. Whatever it may be, I think it's just more about the mindset and the approach and the intention that you take towards your wardrobe. Okay, myth number 2 is you can only have black, white, and gray and no prints in your wardrobe. I think because a lot of well-known minimalists have this sort of aesthetic. Saying that, I'm getting way better with color. I've got some blue now. Good Lord. This thing keeps falling. But I get it, because black, white, and gray is super diverse, super functional, and it looks good. I'm not gonna lie. And it's seasonless. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that if you want to have a minimalist wardrobe that you can't have color or that you can't have bright, vibrant prints. A minimalist wardrobe to me is about curating pieces that you love, that you and only you love. So if you love color, if you love prints, then that is brilliant. It just boils down to having the mindfulness and the intention of what you're bringing into your closet, making sure that those pieces circle back to all the other pieces in your closet. So don't feel like you need to be getting rid of that color, okay? Myth number 3 is you can't like trends or statement pieces. Because a lot of people that speak about minimalist wardrobes talk about finding seasonless pieces, like myself. I definitely talk about that all the time, about finding pieces that are timeless, that will be able to be styled within every single season, and not, falling prey to the trends as much. But saying that, I'm still a sucker for a good trend. I'm not gonna lie. It's in me to be drawn towards a good trend. Currently the 90s are back, and I'm lapping that trend up like a thirsty dog on a Thursday afternoon. Having statement shoes is an absolute obsession of mine. I think they just add such uniqueness and pops to outfits that I just can't get enough of. Again, it just comes down on how you approach those trends. I guess it just comes down to not falling into what I like to call trend trap. Years and years ago when I worked in the fashion industry, I definitely was in the trend trap. So just meaning that you're buying pieces just because they're on trend. You're wearing pieces just because they're on trend. And what then happens is by the next season, you don't want to wear it anymore because it's not on trend anymore. It's not on the trend list. It's not on the trend forecast. So then you end up casting it aside, therefore causing waste in materials and waste of your money, and then just doesn't contribute anything to your wardrobe. So again, it's how you approach the trends. So an example would be if you're gonna bring a new piece in, a new item in that is more trendy, just make sure it's not a fleeting trend. Like I've said it before, puff sleeves, girl, just we need to learn our lesson with puff sleeves. Or is it an ongoing trend like leopard print? I mean, yes, that is always going to be on trend. And yes, some seasons it will be more on like the trend list or on the runways or in the trend forecasts. But no matter what, even if it's not on those lists, it is always going to be relevant and revered. So it's more of an investment item. But again, if you are going to pull a trend in as well, make sure it's something that you love, that you're absolutely obsessed with, that you know it's going to add value to your circle of life wardrobe, and that it's not just something fleeting and that you're going to be over right away, or something that you're just wearing just because it's on trend and you don't actually feel great in, or don't feel comfortable in. Okay, myth number 4 is you lose your creative styling voice. I think a lot of people associate a minimalist style or a minimalist wardrobe with a sort of stark uniform, like black jeans with a gray t-shirt. I mean, it's not a bad look, which for some is definitely the case, but it's definitely not a requirement. To me, when I changed my mindset to a minimalist wardrobe, changed my wardrobe to be more refined, it changed my confidence in my own personal style aesthetic, and therefore, in my opinion, actually made me more creative. And gave me even more of a unique voice with my style. And what I discovered with that is, yes, I am drawn to a sort of minimalist uniform of jeans, t-shirt, blazer, jacket, whatever it may be. Very simple sort of silhouette. But like I said before, Clothes do not wear you, you wear your clothes. So because I was able to really focus on myself and what I wanted in my wardrobe and what I liked to wear, then my own personal creativity, my own personal style would then shine through, and I was able to have that confidence to really wear the pieces how I wanted to wear them. You wear the clothes. It doesn't matter what the pieces are, as long as you're wearing them the way you want to wear them, your styling voice will be heard. All right, you guys, there we go. I hope that this was helpful for you. Please comment below if you have any further questions in regards to this topic. To me, it's an ongoing journey, and the only formula out there is the approach that works for you. All right, you guys, you know what to do if you like today's episode. Give me that thumbs up, comment below, share with friends, subscribe for future weekly episodes. All right, you guys, you have a beautiful rest of your day, and we will be chatting soon. Bye.